Namaskaram, ladies and gentlemen. This is CS Sudarshan. I hope you are killing it in your studies. So, chapter number 2, Audit Strategy, Planning and Program, Essay 300. And guys, be with me for the next 30 minutes. It's a very quick revision, which you can view 1 or 2 times, whichever you want. And I'll be going quick because it's like a super quick revision. I don't want to waste your time. So, if you want to listen slowly, just put 0.75, or if you want to listen it even faster, put 0.75, or normal is fine. I would believe like that, because hopefully you would have studied this chapter one time, right? So before we start with this chapter, let me give you the structure of this chapter. This is my approach towards teaching. This is how I teach, because in auditing, students will forget everything if they don't have the structure of the chapter in their head. Many techniques are there to remember auditing. That is, like, I'll say that. Yeah. First is the chapter audit strategy, audit planning, everything. So chapter is divided into planning, benefits of planning. First thing we will be studying. Then nature of planning we will study. Then planning process. In planning process, preliminary engagement activity, planning activity, audit strategy, audit plan, all these things. Then audit program. Okay, this is the structure of the chapter. Understand this one thing. So now we'll move revisely directly into the chapter, because I don't want to waste your time. Listen. First is, what are the benefits of planning? You want to plan the audit. Imagine you are having exams in next 1 or 2 months, right? So you want to plan. What are the benefits of planning? Similarly, in auditing also, what are the benefits of planning? It's very simple. It's DO DISCO. When you plan something, it can help you. It helps the auditor to devote appropriate attention to important audit areas. When you plan something, you can identify, okay, these are the important audit areas. You planned it. Now you can focus on there. It helps to devote appropriate attention to important audit areas. DO DISCO, DI. Identify and resolve potential problems. When you plan, you can understand, okay, these can be the potential problem areas. You are auditing Zomato, so you will know, okay, this delivery partners, payment issue, everything. So that can be a risky area. That is an important area, so devote appropriate attention to that. Then identify and resolve the potential problems. What are the problems that can come? When you are planning, you can know. When you are planning for your CA inter exam, you'll know what are the potential problems will come in the next 2 months. Your brother's marriage will be coming, friend's marriage will be coming. You have to go. Don't go. Focus on exam. So like that. So, organize and manage audit engagement very easily. DO DISCO. DO DISCO, direct and supervise engagement team. These two topics are engagement team members, because when you plan the audit, then you can, because you know what to do in the audit, right? When you are planning the entire audit, how to do the audit, everything. So then when you have a proper plan, you can easily select your engagement team. Engagement team means audit team. Who are the articles that you need along with you to do the audit? Selection of engagement team becomes easier. If it's Zomato, it's a bigger company, so experienced or articles you need. Similarly, selection of engagement team members and direction and supervision of engagement team members and review of their work. It will be very easy when you have properly planned it, because supervising, how to direct your articles, your people below you, how to direct them, when to review their work, all these things. DO DISCO, devote appropriate attention to important audit areas. D, I, identify and resolve potential problems. O, organize audit engagement, manage audit engagement. DO DISCO, direct and supervise engagement team members. S, selection of engagement team members. Co, coordination of work done. Simple as a DO DISCO, keep in mind. Done. Then, what is the nature of audit planning? That is, planning shortly begins after the year-end audit, because imagine you are auditing 22-23. So once you finish 22-23 audits on, imagine August. You finish the audit of this accounting year on August 2023. That moment itself, you will start planning the audit for 23-24. Because when you finished this audit, you will get a lot of insights about what is wrong with the company. What are the areas where I need to focus, everything. So with those experience, you can easily plan the next year's audit. So always keep this thing in mind, and remember this one diagram in your brain. Okay, pictographic memory. And this can be asked as a question. They'll ask this, and the question is this: when you are planning include the need to consider the following matters. When you are planning, you have to consider these matters. Simple as man. Appadi poda, you know, right? Makes A, analytical procedures to be used as. What are the analytical procedure to be used as? Risk assessment procedure. Performance of other procedures. Performance of other risk assessment procedure. When you are planning, you need to consider these things. First, what are the analytical procedure that you are going to use? What are the other risk assessment procedure you are going to use? APO, obtaining a general understanding of the legal and regulatory framework of the entity. When you are planning, you need to know all of this. You need to consider all this. When you are creating a plan, consider all of this. What are the analytical procedure you are going to use? What are the other risk assessment procedures you are going to use? What is the legal and regulatory framework? Obtain an understanding of the legal and regulatory framework of the entity. Do all of this. Then determine the materiality. Determine the materiality, involvement of experts. Materiality we will learn in chapter number 3. Involvement of experts means you are auditing a company like Zomato or a company like Kia, for example, or any company where you need to verify the condition of an asset. Machinery, they have put the machinery as 10 lakhs in the balance sheet. You have to verify the condition of the machinery. Normal verification you can do, but you may not. You are not an expert in checking at the condition and saying it is 10 lakhs. But it is very crucial that sometimes they may have some fraud or something. So you need an expert to do that. So determine whether when you are in the planning stage itself, you will determine whether you need an expert on that registered value or anything for checking any value of the land or something. So appadi. So what? When you are planning the audit, you need to consider the following things. Appadi pode. A means analytical procedure. P means performance of other risk assessment procedure. O means obtaining a general understanding of legal regulatory framework. D means determination of materiality. I means involvement of expert. Keep in your brain. Then now we'll go with planning process. What are the elements of planning? Elements of planning. Planning is divided into two. We have two activities. First is preliminary engagement activity, then it's planning activity. Keep in mind. Preliminary engagement activity means all the activity that you wanted to do before starting the audit. So today, imagine Zomato, the owner, Deepinder Goyal came to me and said, sir, can you do the audit? I'm a CA. So all the things, so before I'll say yes and we'll sign an agreement, right? So before signing the agreement, these are the things you need to keep in mind. Before starting the audit, preliminary engagement means work. So preliminary engagement before work, these are the things you need to do. First, perform procedure regarding continuance of client relationship. That is, there are 3 cases for that. Imagine last year and previous year also you was auditor of Zomato. So this year, when they are coming, you are continuing the engagement. Last 2 years you were there. So this year it is a continuance of engagement. So you have to decide whether you need to continue with them or not. That is seeing the integrity of them. Like Zomato, Deepinder Goyal, is there any problem with the company? Imagine it's Byju's. Last 2 years you are auditor of Byju. This year also if you audit Byju, you will be gone. Like now Byju is not there, but still I'm saying. So see the integrity of the member and decide whether to continue the relationship or not. Should I do audit this year also? That is one area. Then another thing you have to consider is that imagine last 2 years Zomato was a boat. We'll take earphone company boat. Last 2 years boat was a smaller company. So only 10 crore profit, 10 crore turnover, think. And your firm was a normal firm. But this year, boat suddenly became a very big company. And the turnover is 100 crore. But you are only having a small audit firm. So you may not have the competence, the level of articles, everything to audit that, right? So this year you need to think whether should I continue with the engagement or not. So these kind of decisions you need to check here. Discuss, think whether you need to continue with the client relationship or not. That is, last 2 years you are the auditor. This year should I continue auditing? First case. That is written here. Before accepting the engagement, the firm need to obtain. Firm means us, audit firm, me, chartered accountant, need to obtain necessary information before accepting an engagement from a new client. Imagine a new client is coming. So before accepting audit work from him, that saying that I will do the audit work, think, check his integrity, check whether we are competent, everything. Check whether we can do the work. Check whether he is a fraud or not, everything. Then when deciding whether to continue an existing engagement, I told you last 2 years we were the auditor of Zomato. This year also should I continue or not? This is we are accepting a new work. This is we are continuing with the old work. This is we are accepting a new work from an old client, existing client. Zomato told me, okay, 2 years we were doing the audit, but this year do some other work also for me. That is a new engagement other than auditing. So when you are accepting any work in format, think preliminary engagement activity. Before accepting any work, make sure you check this. Perform procedures regarding continuance of client relationship. Make sure the integrity of principal owner, competence of our team, everything is okay. Okay. Second thing you have to do before auditing is that once you decide, yeah, I am gonna continue with the client relations, or I am gonna accept the engagement, then see the independent requirements regarding ethical requirements regarding independence, including independence. Make sure now you accepted the audit of Zomato. Now make sure whether your team is independent. In first chapter we learned, right, what is independence. So I'm not discussing. You are not related to the company in any way. You are not the brother of Devinder Goyal. You are not owning any shares in Zomato. Like you are your audit team members, like the main core members, auditors. You are, make sure first you decide and accept whether you want to do the audit. Once you decide that, then decide the independence requirement. Are you independent to do the work? Then sign, establish an understanding of the terms of engagement. That is that audit engagement letter where your responsibility, their responsibility, everything will be mentioned and you have to sign and give. So establish an understanding of that also. So three things we covered. Preliminary engagement activity. Now it is planning activity. So these are the things which we need to do before we start auditing. Now planning activity. What are the planning activities? Establishing the overall audit strategy. Let me tell you, audit strategy means two things are there: audit strategy, audit plan. Before we do the audit strategy means an overall approach to the audit. Audit plan means what, like even more detailed than audit strategy, but not very detailed. That what are the things we need to do? For example, India is having a cricket match with Pakistan tomorrow. So tonight, our captain Rohit Sharma and our vice captain and plus the coach will be sitting in the room. We'll make a plan, right? Okay, tomorrow the pitch is batting pitch. So we need to get the toss and get the batting. And once we get the batting, that is a strategy you have. You need to batting everything. So you'll formulate the strategy at the day before. That is what we call audit strategy. What is audit plan? I mean, cricket strategy I told. In cricket plan means if we get the toss, we need a batting order, right? Who will bat first? Who will bat second? Who will bat the third? That is the audit strategy is this much. Audit plan is this much. A bigger level than audit strategy. That is audit strategy and audit plan. In auditing, you are auditing Zomato. So first day you will decide a strategy. Okay, we will analyze Zomato. What are the risky areas in Zomato? Everything you will plan. That basic how to approach Zomato, all these things, the timing it will take, nature of Zomato, understand the business, everything. Strategy will formulate. Then plan means what are the risk assessment procedure that I am going to use? What are the further audit procedures that I am to use here? All these things will be coming under audit plan. Okay. So you are establishing audit strategy. First thing, what are the benefits of establishing audit? And audit strategy, overall audit strategy has set the scope, timing and direction of audit and guides in the development of audit plans. Scope means, first chapter I told you, scope means boundary. Boundaries of audit. Scope of audit is there in the first chapter, right? So when you are doing an audit strategy, make sure it is within that scope and within the limitations and within the timing also. Like if you have got only 2 months to do the auditing, so strategy should be according to that. So this strategy sets the scope, timing and direction of the audit, and it develops and it helps in the development of an audit plan. What are the benefits of strategy that you get? First is you will understand. Now you have the strategy, right? Now you will understand what are the resources to deploy. Resources means article assistance, all the resources you need to do the audit. So when you have a strategy, you can understand what are the resources to deploy, what are the resources to be given to specific audit areas, which like how many articles should be applied there, all these things. Now amount of resources, how many articles etc should be applied on that one audit area. For that is a risky audit area, so we need 3 experienced articles. Then that is a less risky audit area, so 1 article is enough. That is amount of resources. Resources means what are those resources? Articles, all the resources which we need to do the auditing. Amount of resource, and when these resources are deployed, that is in the first stage, first 2 weeks of the auditing. Let inexperienced member do the auditing or experienced member do the auditing. Then the second week onwards, experienced team members, let them come and do the auditing. That is when these resources are deployed, at what time, what resources to be deployed, you can understand. So here you will understand what are the resources needed, then amount of resources needed, then when they are needed, then how they are MDS, managed, directed and supervised. You have article assistants, how are you planning to manage them? How are you planning to supervise them? How are you planning to direct them? This is what you have to discuss. All these things, okay. All these things. So these are the benefits of strategy. When you formulate an audit strategy, you will get an idea about what are the resources we needed, what are the amount of resources we needed to do the audit, what are the, when these resources are required to be deployed, and how they can be managed. So when you have an audit strategy, you can have an idea of all these things. Got it? Then what are the factors to be taken into consideration by auditor for establishing the audit strategy? You want to establish audit strategy. What are the things you need to consider in your brain? Things you need to consider as an auditor. First, identify the characteristics of engagement. What are the characteristics of engagement? Identify these characteristics. Annie. What is the applicable financial reporting framework to the entity? Like Ind AS, Schedule 3. What is the financial reporting framework to the entity? Identify that first. Then, what is the nature of business segment to be audited? ANI. What are the industry specific requirements? Is there any industry specific reporting requirement? Imagine that is a MRF tires, manufacturing tire, right? So they will have this emission of smoke. So sometimes what will happen? Government will suddenly say, okay, if you are emitting more than this amount of smoke, you need to do a reporting, this kind of reporting. So depending upon the industry, make sure whether there are any industry specific reporting requirement. Before you do the audit, first understand applicable financial reporting framework of the entity. Then understand what is the nature of the business to be audited. Do we need any specialized knowledge regarding that, etc. You are going to audit boat. Boat is a technological company, like lot of tech items are there. So do we need someone who is specialized knowledge on that? Decide that first. First understand boat's financial reporting framework, then nature of business, then is there any industry specific requirements, reporting requirement, then expected use of audit evidence obtained in previous audit. Last year I did the audit, I have got a lot of evidence regarding many things. So can I use it in this year also? Make sure that. So first do ANI before you start the audit. Then what you need to do, what are the reporting objectives? You need to ascertain the reporting objectives to plan the timing of auditing. Timing and nature of communication. Don't overthink on that, just listen to this. Why do you want to ascertain the reporting objectives? Because of these kinds of instances. Reporting objectives means why are you doing the audit? What is the objective behind reporting that? What is our objective? What is the thought process behind reporting? Simple. Just memorize this very easily, very easy, very easy. Just listen to me. Just this is a pictographic memorization, not a mnemonic. Here we are memorizing pictographic way. First, TT. What is in it is timetable for reporting. TT means timetable. OM means organization of meetings to discuss nature, timing, and extent of work of management. OM means organization of meetings to discuss the nature, timing, and extent of audit work with the management. When you are doing timetable means what is the timing to do finish of the auditing? You'll know, right? In 2 months, in 3 months. What are the timing of reporting? Timetable of in between that. When which all times I need to report. In second week, do I need to report? In like I need to give the audit report by the end of this date. All these things. Timetable. Then organize meeting. OM. Organize meeting. Organize meeting with the management. When you are doing the audit, you need to meet management once in a while and tell them what we are doing. All these things. If you want to discuss anything about auditing, everything. Then TNT, type and timing of reports. You are doing the audit. So sometimes you will be doing the internal control checking also in detail. So sometimes management will say, sir, can you, anyways you are doing the internal control checking, can you give an assurance report on internal control checking? So these kinds of report also sometimes you will give along with auditing. So discuss with the management regarding the expected type and timing of reports to be issued, including the audit report. All the reports that we are going to issue, discuss with the manager. What is the type of report you are expecting? What is the type of report you are expecting? Management is expecting. And at what time you are expecting? Discuss this with the management. Type and timing of reports. Timetable of reporting. Organization of meetings. Type and timing of reports. Then this is communication. Discuss with the management regarding expected communication on status of audit work. Like when you are auditing in a company, you need to update the management once in a while, like, okay, I have audited this much. The status of your work, you have to update them. Okay, this much we have completed, this much we have completed, all this. So discuss with the management regarding the expected communication. How are we planning to communicate? When are we planning to communicate? Discuss this with the management on the status of audit work throughout the engagement. Okay, then nature and timing of communication. Expected nature and timing of communication among engagement team members. That is, your auditing members are there, right? Weekly once you are everyone. Now everyone will be in different department doing different auditing of one company itself. But there should be a timing of communication between the engagement team members. They should all come together, sit and discuss what we identified this 1 week, right? So you have to discuss what is the nature and timing of communication among engagement team members. Don't overthink on this. Just pick this, have the pick of this one thing in your head. Screenshot, take it. If you don't have the revised audit book, if you have the revised audit book, well and good. Lot of things like this will be there in the book. Okay, I'm not promoting, leave it. Okay, then this is very simple thing. What are the significant? Consider the factors that in the auditor's judgment are significant in directing the engagement team efforts. Sometimes the auditor may feel there are certain factors during the audit where our team need to focus, engagement team need to focus on. Many factors will be there where auditor wants his team to focus on. So how will the auditor find those factors? That is a question. Auditor, I am the auditor. I look at Zomato and I identify, okay, imagine I'm identifying, okay, these are the areas. I'll identify 2-3 areas. For example, verification of assets or like assets area, debtors area. I picked 2-3 areas and said, okay, these are the areas where I want my audit team to focus more on. Why? These are the areas what I want my audit team to focus more on. Okay. So how do the auditors say that is debtors, these assets are the areas? How he has determined these are the significant areas? So what are the factors? Keep in mind, what are the factors auditor will consider in determining significant areas where engagement team needs to focus? What are the, as per auditor's professional judgment, areas in which engagement team need to focus? These are the areas. First, VIX. If there are lots of, like, volume of transaction may determine whether it is more efficient to rely on internal control. If there are high volume of transaction and auditor, then he can determine whether should I rely on internal control or not. So depending upon that, he will determine should I focus there or should I focus not. Simple. Should I mean whether that is a significant factor or not. Simple as that. Sorry. Then significant I means industry developments. If there are a lot of industry developments happening, such changes in the industry, everything is happening, then that is an area, that's a significant area we need to focus on. One more time, if the volume of transaction is high somewhere, lot of transactions are happening, then there is a chance of risk. Then relying on an internal control, there is like a risky area. So depending upon that, he will determine whether should I focus there or not. Then significant industry developments such as changes in the industry regulations and new reporting requirements, all these things. If there are a lot of industry developments happening, so that is an area where chance of, it's a high risky area, so focus there. It's a significant area. Then if there is any significant change in the financial reporting framework, such as accounting standards, imagine a new accounting standard came which is applicable for the company. So that means what is that area? That is a risky area for them. Then other significant relevant developments such as change in the legal environment affecting the entity, all these things. Okay. Then two things are, these are very easy areas. Then development of an audit plan. What are the contents of an audit plan? Contents of an audit plan, nature, timing and risk. I told you, audit plan will contain risk assessment procedure, further audit procedure, other planned audit procedure, nature, timing and action of all this. Then audit plan, then simple. What is the relationship between audit plan and audit strategy? I told you audit strategy is small, audit plan is even more bigger. So audit strategy sets the broad overall, it gives an overall approach. Audit plan address various matters identified in the strategy. I identified, okay, these are the high risky areas. So in strategy, so in audit plan, we will discuss, okay, how to address those areas. Then audit plan is more detailed, changes in one result, a change in another, everything. Then changes in audit plan and audit strategy. So when you prepared an audit plan and audit strategy and you are doing the audit, so what are the circumstances which will create a change in them? Unexpected events, change in conditions, audit evidence obtained from the result of audit procedure. Because of these three circumstances, audit strategy or audit plan can be changed. You can change it because you fixed an audit strategy and audit plan and you are doing the audit. Suddenly some event happened in the company. Some CEO changed, or CEO was caught doing a fraud. CEO or the top management, someone was caught doing a fraud. So you were believing that guy was a good guy and you prepared the audit plan, audit strategy, everything related to that. But suddenly he was being caught for fraud. Now what is your option? Now you have to revise the audit strategy and audit plan. Yes. Then change in conditions. Earlier you discussed with the management that inventory verification will be happening on this date. And suddenly they are having some negative views against that. So condition, that is inventory verification condition changed. So then you can revise the audit strategy, audit plan. Audit evidence obtained from the result of audit procedure. Initially, you were believing company was going good, everything, but you did the audit. You got audit evidence that company has a lot of fraud or something happening. So now we want to revise the audit strategy and audit plan. So in these three cases, you will revise. Then planning, supervision, review of work of engagement team members. When will, like, planning, supervision and review of work of engagement team members. Audit, we have a team, right? So these teams work, they will be doing work every single day. So as an auditor, as a partner, engagement partner, how will I review their work? What are the factors that affects my review? Size and complexity of the entity, area of audit, assess risk of material misstatement, capability. These are the 4 factors that may affect my, as an engagement partner, my planning of supervising and reviewing their work. Because imagine the size of the entity. Imagine this one. Zomato is a very complex entity to audit. And I have, say, this is me. And I have 3 article assistants below me, A, B, C. And Mr. A is auditing in an area, where it is a very risky, high risky area. Imagine, area of audit. He is auditing in a high risky area. And B and C is in a small, low risky area. Since he is auditing in a high risky area, I need to supervise and review his work more often. Because it's a risky area. If I don't check it regularly, sometimes he may commit a big mistake. But these 2 people are operating in a small area, like not risky area. So I don't need to review it weekly. I'll do it weekly or monthly or something. But here I'll do. So my review depends upon area of audit, size of complexity of entity, risk of material misstatement, and capability and competence. Imagine another case, A, B and C. A is a new article. You don't know any work. Whereas B and C is a superb article. So their work I don't want to review because they are experienced. But A is a new article. I'll frequently review his work. So that is how it's affected. Got it, right? The point. Documentation, all the audit strategy, audit plan and changes you make to audit strategy, audit plan, you need to document. You need to put it in a piece of paper, staple it and put it in the document. Now it is electronic format, but I'm just saying. Then audit program. What do you mean by audit program? Audit program is a series of verification. I'll leave the definition. It's a set of instructions given to the audits, articles. This will be a set of instructions given to the articles. This is how you need to do the audit. Everyone. The seniors will give, okay, imagine for your understanding, it's a piece of paper in which definition, like each and every step, instructions, what you need to do in auditing, everything will be mentioned. Okay, do the risk assessment, then do this procedure, then do this procedure, everything will be mentioned. It's a set of instructions. That is what is audit program. How to learn the definition? Wait. Audit program consists of a, what does it consist of? Series of verification procedure. Okay. Why do we have this series of verification? To be applied to financial statements and accounts of the entity. What is audit program? It's a series of verification procedure, SVP. And why is it that for? Why is this series of verification procedures? Series one by one, series of verification procedures, checking procedures one by one written. Why do we have it? Because to be applied to the financial statements and accounts of the entity. Financial statements and accounts. It is applied. Okay, it is applied to financial statements and accounts. And for what purpose? For obtaining sufficient evidence. You're having that for obtaining sufficient evidence. Okay, why do we need that sufficient evidence? To enable the auditor to express an informed opinion. Simple as that. So break it down like this and learn it like that. It's a series of verification procedure. For what? Why? For what purpose? To be applied on financial statements and accounts of the entity. Okay, for what? For obtaining a sufficient evidence. And why do we want sufficient evidence? To enable the auditor to express an opinion. Simple. One audit program is not practicable for all business. Keep in mind. I am the auditor of Zomato and I am the auditor of Boat. Boat is a manufacturing company. So the audit program of Boat may not be suitable for Zomato. So always keep this thing in mind. What the problem is that these bigger firms, these chartered accountants, they'll fix one audit program and will give it to every company. They are lazy to make different audit programs for different company. So that is why it is said, evolving one audit program that is applicable to all business is not practicable. So depending upon business to business, study the business and make audit program accordingly. That would be better. If similar industry, if a Boat and JBL are my clients, at least I can use the same audit program with slight modifications. But Boat and Zomato, completely different business. One is a manufacturing, one is a service business. Different, right? Assistant to keep an open mind. So when starting the audit program, in the first week of starting the audit, give a base audit program. Don't give a perfect audit program. Give a base audit program. Let the audit happen. Like that is what we call give a minimum essential work. Like a standard program. To start with, Give a standard program. Don't give a detailed, very big program. Give a standard program to do the audit. Let the audit do. So as experience is gained by 1 or 2 weeks, we do the audit, we'll get experience. As experience is gained, then we'll understand a lot of things regarding the company. Now we'll know what are the things that are needed in the company, what are the areas where we need to focus more, everything. Now alter that audit program and make it a detailed program. First give a standard program with a minimum essential work. Then as experience is gained by, let's slowly revise the audit program to make it a good program. Keep in mind. And always remember, in the first audit program you gave, lot of work was there. But after 1 week you understand some verification work is not needed. You can easily remove it, make a better program. That's it. Then the assistant who is doing the audit work, tell him, I have given you an audit program. Set of instruction is there. Please follow that blindly, follow that correctly. Along with that, don't just follow that blindly and say, okay, I've done everything. Don't do that. You have to follow that correctly. Plus, you have to keep your mind open to identify any fraud or error. Just don't simply like a robot following instruction and coming. Don't do that. Do it correctly. Plus, you have to use your own logic also to identify whether there is any problem or something in the company. You need to use your own logic. Keep your mind open. The auditor need to engage their article, promote them to keep their brain open to identify new mistakes. And if they identify something, keep an open mind beyond program given to him. Then if he should be instructed to note and report any matters that come to his notice and tell his to seniors or partners. Don't just blindly follow the audit program, follow it, plus keep your mind open. If you notice any fraud or error or something, report it to your seniors. Done and dusted. Then periodic review of audit program. Periodic review means audit, what they do is that sometimes last year's audit program may be followed in this year also. Last year I audited both. This year also sometimes I may be auditing both. So I'll follow the same audit program. Don't do it. Because last year boat was a 10 crore company. This year boat is a 30 crore company. Some business policy, something may have changed in boat this year. If you follow the same audit program, you may not know this business policy change anything. So, and your entire audit is gone because you are trusting a bad audit program. It's an obsolete audit program. So what you need to do, you need to do a periodic review of audit program. I'm just set this example, but this is not how it works. In current year also, if you are doing the audit, in periods, do a periodic review of the audit program you have. Just review it once in a while. Doing the current year audit. Okay, first you had an audit program. After like 2 weeks, just review it once, whether it is okay, whether everything is fine. Because I started auditing on today. 3 weeks I did the audit. Okay, sit. Just you have the audit program for the 1-2 months it is there, right? Okay, 3 weeks I did the audit. I got this much experience, everything. Should I need to review the audit program? Think in your brain. If you need to review. Should I need to alter the audit program? You sit and do a review. All this periodic review is needed. Otherwise, you will be carrying on audit on an obsolete audit program and your entire audit will be gone. So, there should be a periodic review of audit program to assess whether the same continues to be adequate. Is it okay for now also? If it is not done, any change in the business policy may not be adequately known and whole audit may be negligently conducted. All these things, it's very easy, just understand. Then, constructing an audit program. When developing an audit program, what are the things you need to do? Always stay within the scope and limitation of audit. Scope and limitation which is studied in chapter number 1. When you are framing an audit program, stay within that scope and limitation. In scope, there are things that which we don't need to do. For example, auditor is not an expert in authentication of documents. All these things are there, right? So when you are making an audit program, make sure it is within the scope. Don't put anything that is outside our scope. We cannot do investigation. So in audit program, don't mention like something regarding investigation. We cannot do that. And limitation also, our limitation also keep in mind. So just read it, is very easy. Prepare a written audit program, written program we need, and like steps and procedures. It's very easy stuff. You can read it. Then this is also not that important. Then how auditor will collect the evidence through documentary examination, physical examination, statements, arithmetical calculation, minutes, all this simple stuff. Then what are the advantages and disadvantages of audit program? Advantage, swift selection of assistant becomes easy. You have an audit program, you know what are the steps to be done. Now you know it's a serious step. Okay, select experienced articles. If it's like easy step, select unexperienced articles. So selection of assistants becomes very easy. If you don't have a written audit program, without a written audit program, you will be following steps in a mental plan, right? How can you follow a mental plan? tell me, you are having 1 or 2 months down the line, you are having exams. Can you follow a mental plan? Can you plan mentally? No, right? We'll plan and put in a piece of paper. That only will work. Mentally planning and studying something will not work. So without a written audit program, work will be carried on a mental plan, and we'll ignore something, we'll miss something, all these things. Swift SPA, selection of assistant becomes easy. Without a predetermined written audit program, work will be carried out on a mental plan. In such a situation, there is a chance of danger of ignoring and overlooking books and records. SWI, audit program provides a clear set of instructions. I told you. F, it is a guide for future audits, because we did what is audit program followed this year. We can, next year when we are doing the audit, we can refer and make a new program next year, right? So guide for future audit. Then T, total. It gives a total perspective of work to be performed. If you are sitting at day 1, you will know if you are sitting at day 1 and doing the step number 1, in the program step number 10 will be there. So you will know what are the steps you need to do till the next 3-5 like 1 or 2 months. So it gives a total perspective. So Swift SPA, S means selection of assistants becomes easier. Selection of assistants depending upon program. W, without a written audit program, work will be carried out in a without a predetermined written audit program. Work will be carried out on the basis of mental plan. So there is a danger of overlooking books and records. S, selection of assistants without a written audit program. I, it provides a clear set of instructions. F, guide for future audits. T, total perspective. Then Swift SPA. S means by putting the signature, article assistants, when I give the program, I'll tell them, okay, when you do this, finish it, give it a signature and give it to me. Or when I give the program itself, sign, like you are taking the responsibility for doing this. Once I finish it and give it to me, now if any problem happens, I can scold him. You told this is a program, you did, and you signed and gave it to me that you finished it. Now tell me what is wrong with this. So it puts an accountability on them. It puts a responsibility. When article assistant signs the audit program, then they become responsible for that program. Then SPA, principal can control everything, because instructions are given like 3 days after the audit. Like audit is going on for 1 month. So second week I can call all the articles, come, give me your audit program. How much have you done work depending upon the program? Only 30%. Why are you not doing it? I can, like, principal can control the progress, whether they're doing good or doing bad, everything, because I have given them instructions. Then a properly drawn up audit program serves as a evidence in the event of charge of negligence being brought against the auditor. I did the audit today, 2 years after some case came against boat. I did the audit of boat. So, and they suddenly told auditor was the problem. Auditor did the auditing, he was the fraud. Suddenly they put the blame on me. I can say this was my audit program. I documented it. This was my audit program. These steps I have already done. You guys have hidden the fraud in a bad manner. I was not. I only gave reasonable assurance. You can give the audit program and say I have done all these steps. You can get excused. Advantages of audit program. Then what are the disadvantages? Hurry is mine. In the hard and fast audit program will kill the efficiency of articles. Some articles will be there. They are so good. They want to explore more. They want to use their brain. But when they are given this set of instructions, it will kill their initiative, right? They have to blindly follow that. Hard and fast. Hurry is mine. Hard and fast audit program. RI becomes the program often tends to be rigid and inflexible. That is it. Hurry is mine. The work may become mechanical. Every day doing the same thing. It may become mechanical, and sometimes the articles may not even understand what are the objectives of work that they are doing. Why they are doing this work? They may not even understand that. Why they are doing this work? They may not even understand. They will simply follow the steps and go. Why are they doing that? So the work may become mechanical. Articles may not understand the work. That is another problem. Hurry is mine. Hard and fast audit program. HA, RI, rigid and inflexible, is mine. Work may become mechanical. INE. Inefficient articles may take the shelter behind audit program. Means there may be an article. I told him, follow the audit program and use your own brain also identify something. And this guy, he simply follows the audit program, and some basic things, some vouching, etc. was not written in program. Imagine, some basic vouching procedure was not written in the audit program, and he did not do that. In a common sense, a first year foundation student will do that, but that stupid guy don't do that. And when I caught him, why didn't you do the normal vouching? He told, sir, I did everything in the audit program. It was not mentioned in the audit program. He'll wash off his hands and go like that. So these kinds of inefficient articles will say, I have done everything in the audit. They'll hide behind, they'll take a shelter behind the audit program. That should also be removed. I mean, that is also a disadvantage of audit program. In a common sense, he should have done that work. But he'll say, no, I followed audit program. I did everything. He'll take shelter behind that. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of audit program, and this chapter is done. And if you like the content and if you want to watch the video slowly, if you don't understand anything, watch it one more in 0.75x. You will understand everything. That is why it's a revision video. You have to make it below 1 hour. That is my pressure on handling this. I touched every points in this book. I touched every points in this chapter. So done and dusted. If you like the content, give it a thumbs up and just write in the comment box whether you like the, just to support me. If you want, you can just put an emoji and how you felt about the chapter. That's it. So, and just write it in the comment box. Don't write in the comment box. If you are new to this channel, kindly consider subscribing to this page, and see you with chapter number 3 tomorrow. So that's it. Bye bye.